Welcome to the Bihar Floating House. This is the first step of addressing flooding in Bihar, India that we're leading at the Center of Resilience. Global climate change and climate chaos are threatening the well-being of more communities around the world every year. Increasingly, we are facing crises like food scarcity, extreme heat, flooding, energy crises, pollution, and populations left without basic services during these times. Those who are already marginalized, like women, children, the global poor, and rural communities are hit hardest. In the whole world, Bihar in India is a front line of climate change, where a population of more than 107 million people are already experiencing extreme weather conditions with scarce resources. Bihar is a neighbor to Nepal, and every year snow and glacial melting in the nearby Himalayas brings flooding to Bihar and the entire Gangetic Plains, flooding that is getting increasingly destructive due to climate change. Each year, millions of people in Bihar alone are displaced by flooding, losing their homes, livelihoods, and connection to centuries-old traditions and ways of life. With no option to stay on their land, they are forced to migrate, many becoming the new urban poor. Displacement not only uproots communities, but erases vital indigenous cultural heritage and sustainable practices that have preserved this environment for generations. At the Center of Resilience, we're working towards a solution. A prototype floating house designed to withstand floods and make people and their way of life resilient to climate chaos. The floating house allows families to save their crops, animals, and belongings, creating a lifeline during flooding seasons. With the success of this first floating house prototype, which has now survived 2 flood seasons, we're launching the next stage of this work, creating a model of a climate-resilient village. Together with a diverse global team and local communities, the Center of Resilience are developing a model village that will be able to withstand flooding and that will serve as a multi-purpose crisis relief center, community training space, and laboratory for innovations to build tangible climate resilience for the most vulnerable communities in Bihar. The Climate Resilient Village will be built using a mix of modern engineering, natural construction, and upcycled waste materials. It will have floating gardens and other elements of sustainable food systems, as well as low-tech solutions for water purification, waste treatment, and renewable energy systems. Focusing on affordable, simple systems that locals can maintain, and with training from the center, create themselves. This is a vision for a new way of living through climate chaos, blending traditional practices with low-tech, resilient modern technologies. Imagine a floating community center that offers workshops in natural food preservation, hygiene during flooding, and that hosts regional climate resilience gatherings to collectively prepare Bihar for what's coming in the years ahead. Once the Climate Resilient Village is built, it will become the base for the Direct Impact program, through which we'll deliver floating health and food aid and carry out community trainings and public awareness campaigns with flood victims, with regional colleges, universities, and international allies. With this work, we're hoping to help frontline communities in Bihar not only survive, but thrive in the face of climate change, and we're hoping to create a model that can be adopted and adapted in other communities facing climate chaos around the world. And already we can see the impact. At the center, we've trained locals in waste upcycling, construction, and sustainable systems. We've partnered with leading global experts in floating architecture and engineering. And now our team who built the prototype floating house are ready to start work on the climate resilient floating village. This isn't just a model of housing for flooding. The climate resilient village will be a global experiment here in Bihar of low-tech solutions, sustainable living, environmental regeneration, and solidarity. And we need your help. We're a grassroots community skills training center dedicated to empowering communities from the ground up, and we're calling for global solidarity to help us work towards this vision. Your support helps us in the next steps of this work as we train local community members in sustainable living and resilient livelihood, as we build the climate resilient village itself, and as we run the Direct Impact program. Be part of this journey with us. Join us in building a future of resilience and hope for Bihar and beyond. Together, we can transform vulnerability into strength.